I'll say that. My name's Rochelle. I'm 28 years old. And I have a skin disorder called vitiligo, which is basically a disorder that where I lose the pigment in my skin, which is also autoimmune. There's no cure, there's no cause. I mean, I've had some treatments, I've had some topical steroid creams, but they didn't work for me. I mean, what works for some doesn't work for others. And my journey of acceptance, I think, started a few years ago, and it's not easy. It took me, I'm going to be 29 in a few days, and it's taken me, I think, about 15, 16 years to actually fully accept that I have vitiligo, and it doesn't change. If I want to do anything I want to do, I can still do it. There's been bad times, there's been good times. One of the worst times was probably growing up. I was born in London. I moved to Nottingham at the age of about, I think, 7 or 8, and I just never felt like I really fit in. At that age I didn't have vitiligo, so I think because I was black and I was brought up in a school which was predominantly white, I had a London accent in Nottingham, which obviously makes me stand out as well. And I think I was just very different. I mean, I love to interact, I love to socialise. I've always had a lot of friends, I've always had a lot of people around me, but I still just didn't feel like I fit in. And then at the start of secondary school, I believe about 11 or 12 was when I developed vitiligo. And it was really hard fitting in. I feel like I really didn't fit in, but the vitiligo made me stand out even more. So simple things like, PE, you're doing, like throwing balls or catching things and people have to touch your hands and things like that. People were really, I mean, I was never bullied, but people were really horrible about it. And I think that gave me a bit of a complex, and then as I got a bit older I developed it on my face, and it literally started as rings around my eyes, and I used to get called like panda, things like that. Saying these things now, they sound really silly, and but when you're a child it's a really big thing. So yeah, that was one of the names, Panda. And there's something that a girl said to me at school, which sounds really silly, but at that age it's a really big thing. And when it's said in front of a lot of people, it's kind of embarrassing and just makes you stand out even more. Than you feel almost embarrassed in front of a lot of people. It was your skin is multicolored like Skittles. Now that sounds very silly, because obviously Skittles are red, green, yellow, the colours of the rainbow, and I'm far from the colours of the rainbow. So yeah, I remember that, and I laugh at it now because I just think and that really bothered me. But yeah, it hasn't always been bad. I think the past year and a half, I would say, has been the best time of my life. I accepted having vitiligo. The reality of having vitiligo is that it may or may not spread. I had a lot. So my turning point was probably I had a lot of counselling, a lot of therapy, and I guess I just have great friends and family around me. There was also a couple of years ago a meet and greet with Winnie Harlow in Stratford. So I met her, we had a little talk, and I remember feeling like very starstruck. Literally just walking through with my mum, and I looked, she was in the coffee shop, and the funny thing is, I follow her on Instagram, so I should have known that she was having a meet and greet, but I didn't. I don't know how I missed it, but it was literally just meant to be. So I'm walking through, and I looked over and I was just like, that looks like Winnie Harlow. Mum's like, who? And I was just like, Winnie Harlow, like, Mum, how do you not know? Like, what? So we're walking through, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, Mum, it is. I was so excited. And she was just like, come on then. I was like, okay, let's pretend we're getting a coffee or something. So we walked in the shop, and we kind of made eye contact. She had a lot of people around her, but nobody had vitiligo. So it's like, we kind of had that connection, we spoke, and the conversation that we had, like, I will always hold dear to me. It was kind of like, if I can do it, you can do it too. Yeah, you have vitiligo, you're still beautiful. It doesn't change anything. Don't let little comments that people say like change you. She literally just encouraged me to, just be me. Like, you're not wearing makeup, you don't need to wear makeup. Even though I'd already come to that realization that I don't need to wear makeup. Makeup's never really been for me. So yeah, that was, I think all those things combined was my turning point, and kind of just looking into myself. You know, it didn't matter to me what anybody said. It was for me to kind of, you know, get to a point and feel that, you know, it's okay, like I'll be fine. It could be a lot worse. Like a family member of mine passed away from cancer, and I think that really touched me. We had a great relationship, and I'll miss her forever, but I think just seeing her go through what she went through, like the numerous chemo, radiotherapy, like all of that stuff, and I'm complaining about vitiligo, like it's not harming my health, my strength, like I can still do what I want to do. Like she was bedbound for a long time. Yeah, and obviously the children that I work with, I worked with children in cancer. Now I work with children in dermatology, so seeing all of that, kind of putting everything together was just like, I'm actually okay, like I'm moaning over nothing. It's not going to change. The reality of it is that it may or may not spread, so kind of just get over it. Not get over it, but you kind of just deal with it. Like, I mean, I still have bad days, I won't lie, but they're much better than the bad days I would have had a few years ago. Little things that people say to me now would be kind of like, what happened to your face? Or when I'm at work, it's kind of like, nurse, why are you black and white? I'm trying to think what really gets me down. I think sometimes if I'm having a bad day, not related to vitiligo, like, you know, work stress or relationship stress or just anything that's going on that I'm not happy about, it always seems to be at those times that people kind of are drawn to me, and I'm already in a bad mood. So the other day I came out of work after such a rubbish day, and I was on the phone, I had my headphones in, I was on the phone to my mum, I was telling her about my day, and this guy just literally came up to me and was like, what happened to your face? And I was just like, oh really? Like, I've learnt to not be defensive about it, so my first thought was to just, you know, go off on her, but I was just like, you know what, I can't. But I was still mad at my day. I just thought, how dare you, like, how is that even acceptable? Like, if I said to you, what happened to your leg, what happened to, like, it's just not acceptable. But I guess people are always going to be ignorant, and I guess that's why my passion for awareness is so big.
What would you say to the people that say things to you?
I mean, I'm very happy to explain. I'm very happy to, you know, give people knowledge on vitiligo. Sometimes I say Google it, sometimes I say, you know, it's vitiligo, it's this, ABC. Or sometimes I just don't want to be the teacher. Sometimes I'll just, you know, I don't know, be rude or be defensive. Yeah, because sometimes it's just like, oh, every day really. Like sometimes I get out of bed and I just think, oh, work, kids are going to ask me this, that, and I just think, you know what, just get over it, like, I'll just get on with it. And I guess that's why people say I'm such a strong person, and a lot of people are inspired by me. I mean, that's very humbling, and that's kind of my aim. That's what I want people to, you know, see me and think, you know what, because of you, I can do this too. Or, you know, it's fine to ask questions at any time, but I'm still human, like, and you know, I have bad days too, and it's not, my response is not always going to be what you want to hear, or, you know, I'm not always going to be happy, I'm not always going to want to talk about it. But yeah, I think coping with vitiligo, I mean, I've tried, as I said, I used to have, when I was first diagnosed, I had Hoover treatment, which is like, kind of like a vertical sunbed. You stand in there like that with your eyes closed. It's like you stand in there for a prescribed amount of time, and I think I got up to maybe about 4 or 5 minutes, literally just standing there. It's very boring, and the tablets what I used to have to take made my eyes sensitive to light, and they used to give me headaches, and I think the risk of taking those tablets for a long time was far greater than me just having vitiligo. And for the progress that I think I had treatment for about 18 months, and I think the progress that it made was very rubbish. Like, it was very minimal, and I wasn't going to do that for the rest of my life. Like, I have so much more better things to do. And the free tablets, and I have to wear my glasses. Like, I mean, I love my glasses, I don't wear them, but the amount of time that I was having it to think I have to do that for my whole life just to get a bit of pigment back, like, it's just not really worth it. I mean, people do it, you know, hats off to them if you have the time and, you know, it works for you, it works for you. Makeup, they tried to give me the camouflage makeup, but they never found the correct skin tone for my skin match. They never found the right match for my skin tone. So that was, no, it wasn't for me at all. As I said, my family bought me makeup, my mum, my auntie, just wasn't for me. I mean, I tried it, it just wasn't for me. Then I did the show with Katie Piper, and that was to show the option of, you know, wearing makeup or not wearing makeup, because a lot of people are very ignorant and think that vitiligo cannot be covered. Yes, it may be, you know, may need to apply a little bit more than just normal makeup, everyday makeup, but it can be covered, and there's some great brands out there. But again, still it's not for me, and I will never hide who I am with makeup. When I've worn makeup previously, I feel like I'm hiding who I am. It doesn't make me feel like me looking in the mirror, it doesn't make me feel comfortable. And I think once at the hospital they suggested me putting makeup on my hands, I was just thinking everything I touch is going to be brown, like, that's pathetic. And at the time I used to do a lot of sports as well, so I'm just thinking, like, you sweat and the makeup, like, no, it just wasn't for me. And I'm glad that I've, you know, been resilient to that, and, you know, I've stuck with what I want to do, and I've always made my own choices. And I'm happy that, you know, I've got to a point where I can do these kind of things, and I can, you know, inspire people and explain to people that, you know, it hasn't always been easy, but if you want it to get better, if you believe in yourself that, you know, you will get to a point of acceptance, if you want to get to a point of acceptance, then you can. It's very possible.
You've done so many things and you have a dream, right?
Yeah.
And your dream is to...
Yeah, so at the end of all of this, my dream is to, I'm not sure how it's gonna be arranged, but I'd like for not just children, obviously I work with children now in dermatology, and I obviously see some children with vitiligo, but I would love to start like a group or some sort of, like, maybe not a group, some sort of like, something where people can come, you know, get together and mingle with other people that have different skin disorders, not just vitiligo, any kind of visual difference, make friends, interact, people tell their stories, you know, so a lot of people feel like they're the only one with certain things. I'd like everybody to, you know, feel like they're involved in something, not just because they have a visual difference that, you know, they have to be locked behind closed doors or, you know, cry themselves to sleep, or, you know, just to show that you can still do what you want to do, you can still be what you want to be, and not to let these things stop you.
Do you feel like it's harder for you to accomplish your dreams? You know, you said you wanted to do hosting and stuff like that. Do you feel like it's harder because you're visually different? Or do you feel like it can work?
I used to think that. I mean, I sing, so
yeah.
For me to get on a stage, I mean, I've sang all my life, so for me to get on a stage was one of the hardest things for me. Everybody knows in my family that I sing. All my friends know that I sing, and they just say to me, like, from young, like, Rosh, you should do this, you should do that, you should apply for this, you should go on The Voice, you should go on X Factor. And in my head, like, that's a dream that, you know, I would love to be on a stage. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a singer as a career, but I'd love to, you know, pen a few songs and, you know, perform at certain places. And I actually do that now. And it wasn't until, I think my first live performance was 2015, so not too long ago. As I said, I've always sang, so it's taken me all that time to feel comfortable and confident, and, you know, people hear my voice and not just see my skin. So that was very hard. I thought that they would stare at my skin and be kind of get distracted by my skin and wouldn't hear my voice, and I think that would upset me and it would kind of knock my confidence a bit. But I did it because sometimes I don't think, I just do things, and I think that's how I've literally winged my way through life. I don't really think about things, I just do. Yeah, I love to kind of just take a challenge, and, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not afraid to lose, I'm not afraid to, you know, try again. I have applied for X Factor, I'll never do it again. it was a very, I think X Factor is about entertainment rather than a talent. I applied for The Voice. I got to the second stage. Great audition, great vocal coaches. But again, I don't feel like those kind of shows are for me. It hasn't knocked my confidence. It hasn't stopped me from singing. I update my YouTube channel now and again. I post videos on my Instagram quite often. I perform at open mic nights. I have sang in front of 2,000 people at, what's that arena called? Shepherd's Bush Empire. Yeah, I sang there as a supporting act for Anastasia Baker and Erica Campbell of Mary Mary. And I think that for me, like, if I can do something big like that, I mean, I can do whatever I want to do, and I'd like for people to, you know, say, this girl did this, like, I can do that, because she did it, I can do that. I think that's what I'd like to be remembered for. Like, I'd like people to, you know, say, oh, have a look at Rochelle's story, or, you know, get in touch with Rochelle, like, she may have some coping mechanisms, she may be able to help you with this, or, but yeah, generally, like, I'm a friendly person, I'm happy to speak to anybody, I get messages daily. You know, and sometimes I can help, sometimes I can't help, and if I can't help, I can always refer you to somebody that can help. I've built up a great channel, I have quite a few followers, and a lot of people that don't follow me, they send me just random messages, and I always get back to them. It may not be on a day, but I always get back to them. I've had a lot of great opportunities in the TV industry, which I hope they will continue. Yeah, and I've launched a brand called Loss of Pigment Not Purpose, which is my slogan that I go by. And literally, from the time I read those words, like, loss of pigment, not purpose, like, that's my life. Like, it's everything that I live for. Like, just because I'm losing my pigment, it doesn't mean that I'm going to lose my purpose in life. And my business partner actually lives in America, so she will be doing the US side and I'll be doing the UK side, and we're going to come together and form an event by the name of Loss of Pigment Not Purpose. Hopefully in the new year, where I'll have my brand, a lot of merchandise, and hopefully a lot of people will attend. A lot of people have showed interest, and hopefully that should be something to look forward to.
If you could give your younger self a bit of advice, what would you say?
If I could give my younger self some advice, it will be, don't listen to what other people say all the time. Don't take everything to heart. Not everybody is right. And generally just, you know, stick to your guns. If you want to do something, then don't let the opinion of somebody else change it. And exactly the same, if you don't want to do something, don't make you feel pressured to do it. Think that because I have vitiligo, that, you know, I'm just single. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, find anybody that loves me, or, you know, people are just gonna not be interested in me. But beauty is skin deep. Like, it's actually from within, and I'm a very likable person, and I guess, you know, people are drawn to me. As a teenager, it was pretty hard, you know. All my friends were in relationships and I was the single one, but I feel like I wasn't ready for a relationship at those ages. But as I've grown older, I have had some interest, and I am in a very happy relationship. So yeah, not just because I have a visual difference that, you know, I will never find love. That's completely the opposite. A lot of people actually admire me because of my vitiligo and because of the way I carry myself. You know, not wearing makeup is actually quite attractive to some, which I'm still trying to understand that. Because sometimes I look in the mirror and I just think, you know, oh, it doesn't look good today, or, you know, there's a new patch there, or, you know, and I wonder if people notice those things, because I do. Obviously, I have to look at my face every day, and, you know, new patches do appear, and it will happen, but it all boils down to acceptance. If you've accepted the reality of having vitiligo, that it may or may not change, then, you know, living day by day is much easier. But yeah, I'm happy to say I have found love, and I believe it's lifelong. My partner is very supportive. So there was a point where I used to only take pictures on this side because there was no vitiligo on this side. It was around my eye, but it was never on my cheek. And as you can see on this side, it's quite prominent. It used to be in the shape of like Africa flag, not flag. What do you call this? Like the
shape
outline of
tree.
Africa. So it used to be in that shape. It's kind of changed now, which is a bit shit. But yeah, so now it's on this side. So now I guess if I'm very vain. I take pictures every day of my life. Let me not lie. Yeah, I guess I just like taking pictures, and I don't. The vitiligo wasn't going to stop me from taking pictures. But yeah, there was a time where I would hate to take pictures on this side of my face. No, this side of my face.
Yeah, you like that. Yeah.
And I think I posted my first selfie in 2015. So I've come a long way. Yeah, I've come definitely a long way. I remember just taking a picture and thinking,
just
kind of like that picture. Let me see. And I got so much responses. Like I was so overwhelmed. Like the comments that I got was, "I'm so proud of you. Like Sophie, you've come so far. Don't ever stop taking pictures. Don't ever listen to what anybody says. You're beautiful regardless. Vitiligo makes you different." Like so much beautiful comments that were really heartfelt. And I think from then, I guess I'm just posting every day. And I'm not going to stop, so yeah.
Actually, I actually have a question. Social media is nowadays used in quite a negative way, I believe, personally. Do you think it gives like a false representation of what beauty tends to be? Not just beauty, but what should be accepted, what you should look like. And do you feel like people use it in a kind of cyberbullying type of way to get to people as well?
Yeah, I think social media for me is one of the best things that ever happened in life. I found Winnie Harlow. I was literally just scrolling Twitter, and that's how I knew who she was. She wasn't famous then, and she was obviously just going by her normal name, Chantel. And I was scrolling and I saw a picture. She was sitting in a shopping trolley, and she was posing. And I was just like, there's something on her face. And then I zoomed in and I was like, oh my gosh, she's got vitiligo. Who is this? Like, so I think for me, social media was the tool that I used to, you know, find other people like myself with vitiligo. And there's a lot of groups, there's a lot of forums, and I joined them. I never said anything in them, but I joined them just to kind of read and see if I was the only one going through this, and I realised I wasn't alone. So I think social media for me has been the biggest, one of the biggest steps in my journey of acceptance, I guess. As I said, I posted my first selfie 2015, but I was still on social media, just posting on this side of my face. And I guess I've met so many people with vitiligo and different visual differences, and it kind of gives you the opportunity to, you know, see if you're the only one going through certain things. But beauty in itself, I think, it's just all wrong on social media. You kind of see, you know, fair complexion, no blemishes, straight hair. Yeah, there's so much diversity out there now, but it's still not mainstream as if someone, you know, without vitiligo would be kind of blasted in the media. But we're getting there, and I think that's my aim. Like, I'm gonna be somewhere, someday, on your screen, on a magazine. I mean, I've been in a magazine, so I can tick that one off. I've been on TV, I can tick that one off. I just need to do a bit more. Yeah, I mean, the messages that I get sometimes from random people, oh, I think you're so beautiful, we should get married. Like, I'm just like, okay. And my partner's not very supportive of those kind of things, so I'd appreciate if you stop. But yeah, it's very nice to have, like, you know, nice comments, and, you know, but some people take it too far, and those messages I don't respond to. I feel bad because, you know, they're only reaching out to say, you know, you inspire me so much and I think you're beautiful, can we meet up? And that, it just goes that step too far. I mean, I'm very appreciative and I always say thanks, and, you know, I receive all the comments and, you know, feedback if somebody feels I haven't done something well or I haven't explained myself properly. You know, I'm always happy to justify what I've said and why I've said it. But yeah, I think social media is the best thing for me. So one question that I've been asked a few times is, if there was a pill or a cream or some sort of medication that I could take to get rid of my vitiligo and restore my natural pigment, would I take it? Sometimes I think yes, sometimes I think no. I feel that I've been chosen, you know, to have vitiligo for a reason. All the things that I'm doing was in my plan for me, like, as a person. And some days it works, some days it doesn't. I'm just thinking, I say no now, but on a bad day it may be a different answer. I'm kind of contradicting myself. I think, no, I don't think I would take it, because there's so much that has come out of me having vitiligo. Like, as a person, I've kind of, you know, built up my confidence, and there's so much opportunities, you know, just to show off my diversity. Like, why would I want to be normal, I guess? Not normal, because I'm not abnormal, but the same. I think it's changed me as a person. It's made me more sociable. I kind of, you know, I don't hide away. I don't know. It's hard, but I don't think I'll take it. The same way I won't have makeup to cover it up, I wouldn't take a tablet to get rid of it. I think I'd actually miss it. Maybe if I could take a pill for the progress to stop, maybe I would take that. Maybe. At the moment I have it in my face, my hands, my feet and my elbows. And it's quite symmetrical, and it's going around my tattoos, which is quite, like, I guess I can say I kind of like it. Like, I've grown to like it. It started on my hands, and, you know, I reckon by the end of next year my hands will probably be white. So I guess I've grown to like it, and it's not just because people say things like, oh, it's so artistic, or, you know, the patterns are so. I think it's because in the 1% of people in the world that have vitiligo, nobody has the same vitiligo pattern. I think that's what makes me me. Like, vitiligo does not define me, but nobody has the same pattern as me. I think that's special. Like, that's something to be celebrated. So maybe I will stop the progress, but I don't think I'd get rid of it.